Shout out to JJ Helterbrand. Brother, stand on business. No person on earth has the right to invalidate his opinion. So let the man speak freely and decide for yourself whether you agree with him or not. On our side, we completely disagree. So let's go ahead and take a hard look at the reality of Philippine basketball. Is June Mar Fajardo playing in a less competitive Philippine basketball scene? Yes and no. Yes, because when he started, it was super competitive, I'm not gonna lie. But now, no, because we all know all the good talent is in the Japanese B-League or elsewhere. So does that mean that the guys JJ Helterbrand talked about would have made June Mar Fajardo's life harder now? Also no. Reality and simply looking at June Mar Fajardo's games will tell you that the only way to compete with somebody like him is if you somehow are able to combine at a slightly above average level height, athleticism, and strength. Of the three guys that JJ Helterbrand mentioned, none of those guys can put those three things together. Ali Peek checks in at 6'4", Menk checks in at 6'6", and Taulava is only 6'9". And honestly, Taulava might have been the best chance at somebody really competing with June Mar. But defensively, he just does not have the vertical ability to make life hard for June Mar. Now, if these guys were thrown into today's PBA, would they have prevented June Mar from winning 8 MVPs? Honest to God, they probably would have stopped him from winning 1 or 2. Because with them playing at a time where June Mar Fajardo didn't even exist, only Taulava and Menk won 1 MVP. And that's surprising given that they were probably the biggest dudes at the time. And it's not like there was some crazy 7-footers that were making life hard for them. And if we're gonna base it on the way JJ Helterbrand positioned these guys, they should have honestly won more MVPs at a time where if you look at the list of MVPs, it was very guard to small forward centric. And again, no one like June Mar Fajardo even existed at the time. So let's not get carried away and act like back then was so much better than it is now. Because the reality is if you weren't as big, as tall, as athletic, as skilled as June Mar Fajardo, and keep in mind you kind of need to combine all 4, you are not dethroning June Mar Fajardo as the best player in the league. And lastly, keep in mind I'm not a June Mar Fajardo stan. If I have to pick a favorite player in the PBA, it's actually Robert Bolick. Just to drive the point home, man, even if June Mar Fajardo was dropped in the era where Taulava and Menk played, he would have just as easily dominated then the way he is now. Because not much has changed with Philippine basketball, to be honest. Still a lot of guards, still a lot of small forwards, and the average height in the PBA is probably anywhere from between 5'7" to let's say 6'6". And unless you're an import that could combine 2 out of the 3 or 4 things that we talked about that would help you match up with June Mar Fajardo, you're just not dethroning this guy as the best player in the league, man. Absolutely zero chance. Let me know, y'all.